I see you, zombie. I'm busy eating a tomato. One moment. I will annihilate you in a second. Hey you, I don't want you to die in that lane. Come over here. Thank you. That way I know the south lane is the one I can drive in, and the north lane will have bodies. You know, it'd be like that. But yeah, so the katana does really good damage and very reliably one-hit kills if you get like 2 or 3 in the long blade. It's got pretty good durability. It's exceedingly rare, and it cannot be repaired. So it is a weapon you get, you have yourself a good time, and then it's gone. But with its power, even if I can't fully clear the van, I'm going to thin out a lot of zombies up here before we get sleepy, because we did down 2 entire things of vitamins. One moment, I'm eating a potato. Let's go. Nimble 4, we've been waiting for that for a while. She tried to cheat and use the tree cover skill to hide from the trees and strike where I cannot see. Alright, things will probably get really messy about halfway up this this side road here, because that's probably about the point we ditch the giant horde. And her van is there. I am pushing to try and get the van and get out. I mean, realistically we're going to kill a hell of a lot of zombies. However this goes, we're going to kill a hell of a lot of zombies. Alright, let's try and draw them to the middle. Yep, Katana is super powerful. The only thing that makes it balanced is the fact that they're so rare that, you know, like they're so rare, they're unrepairable, so it's just, you get it, you feel like an absolute monster for a little while, and then you return to being a mere mortal again. That's it, you'll totally get yourself killed with the katana, because you do feel that powerful while you have it that you're just like, it doesn't matter. And all it takes is one mistake to get you killed still. Oh yeah, katana is way better than the machete. Machete is pretty good, but the katana is still like a league ahead of the machete. Like, I don't feel guilty about using a machete when I don't have much skill. Yeah, I'm having some bad rolls with the durability on this katana. We went like the whole way up that straight without taking a single durability hit, and now we got on this straight and we've taken 3. So that's bad RNG there. Oh, come on. Don't be that mean with the RNG. Give me at least 100 kills on this thing. We got like... What is happening with this RNG? We just went from like a near perfect katana to 1 durability hit left on 1 road. And I have maintenance of 6. Right. So the idea is you get the machetes more often, they're repairable, so you can use them more. So they're better in the sense of you will get more mileage out of machetes and the fact that you have a bunch. But yeah, the katana is, like, as far as killing stuff, way more efficient. Now granted, it doesn't matter. Like, you get the katana, you use it, and then it's gone. It's super rare. So like that's my balance argument with the machete and the katana. They're powerful weapons, but you don't get them enough to matter. Nah, no, I'm basically, yep, that's exactly what I figured was going to happen. The RNG we had is so bad. I'm going to grab this spear. That was a very underwhelming katana, for the record. Like, it did really well until we got into this double road, and it was just like, no, you don't get to have nice things. I know we're not getting in here, I'm just killing a bunch of zombies while I got this stuff so I can ditch it. See what the van situation is. I expect to be completely overwhelmed. Yep, we're about to be tired again, and I got no more vitamins, so we get to leave. Take a very long hike home. Yep. I know. The problem is I have to draw them through this, and I'm expecting to have another horde of like 20 or 30 on the van itself. Because it is running with the radio maxed out. which I normally did strictly to attract zombies, but in this case it's not what you want when you're trying to recover. Luckily I have multiple vehicles back home, it's just the trip home is the part that's no fun. I mean, it's also attracting the zombies because it was running, so it's loud for that too. Yeah. Normally that's not a problem. Oh yeah, no, I don't feel bad about it. We've killed a lot of zombies. Yeah, now that katana, like, it did well on the first road and then just immediately just went to hell. Like, it's very underwhelming. Like, part of the reason we're having so many zombies show up here is because they have that big ball of zombies right there. They're going to try and spread out from each other, and we're making a place for them to go, so they're naturally pushing onto us. And I really should be backing up now. Like, that is the correct decision now for us to leave, but I'm also stubborn. And I don't want to walk that far. Yeah, it's like, there's no way I'm keeping him out of the road, so I keep him in the medium, and at least it's controlled. Like, the fan is right here. Just right here. But I still probably have like 8 hordes between us that I just don't see because they're all in the trees and just sneaking out on us in little groups. And I can't risk Pied Pipering them in this particular case just because I'll be leaving them on the only way in and out that we have available. Part of me is hoping I can sneak off and take the side road and sleep, and then just pick up the fight tomorrow. But like we're just having them steadily come back out after us again and again. I don't want to back out. We're getting ready to be our second tick of being sleepy, and we really haven't made any progress on this corner. Like, we're killing zombies, but they're being replaced from the other. I say as now there's just no zombies here. I am hoping that we look around this corner and we just see nothing. No, this is a solid not happening. Oh well. Backing out. Retreat. There was at least 4 hordes in the between us, and we're about to be at our second tick of tired, which means we'll just start going exerted just because we won't be recovering any stamina on a meaningful level. So we get to walk home, which means the painful thing is I gotta drive another vehicle up here, and then I'm gonna have to tow that van home. Or leave the van up here, which may be actually what happens. Well, I mean, the idea is I wouldn't just race in there, we would fight our way in, like we did the first time. Treat it like it's completely uncleared and just start pushing. I was trying to get to the house, and that was the issue, is I couldn't get in towards where the T is, where I would either go for the van or the house. And I am beyond not comfortable trying to walk along this fence and get to the house. I don't think you can climb this fence either, can you? You can. Okay. That gives us options. Granted, I think we're only getting one more climb on that fence, maybe. I'm not even sure we will get one more shot at climbing over that fence with how much stamina we just burned. I shouldn't have tested back there. I should have waited until we just got to where we actually wanted to climb to test. Because my hope is maybe we can get to by where the houses are, climb over, and yeah, sneak into a house and sleep in the bedroom. The downside is if I climb over the fence, aggro stuff, that might be it for the character, because we're running a low for our tank at this point. We shouldn't do it anyways. I don't have food here. And I'm out of food. So as much as I don't want to do like the long walk of shame home, that is what it is. Hey, Baron. It's going pretty good. I mean, at the moment we're off balance, but so we've cleared all the way up to Riverside Resort area. A helicopter showed up. We said, you know what? We're gonna hold our ground in the resort. And we did kill a bunch of zombies, but you know, we kind of had to leave the van behind. So that's a thing. And for the record, Burn and Sun is joking. Yeah, we don't do this. There's a horde right here. Yeah, I'd climb over and we'd be full on into high exertion just walking away from stuff. Yep, we got a katana and we were just rocking our way up this road. We got around the first corner and just had like durability hit after durability hit on the katana. It just broke so fast. It was pretty underwhelming. So unfortunately, walk of shame. Oh, I know, no strings. It'd be like if I could get over there, but if you're watching all these openings, there's been a zombie at every single one of them. I mean, it was more the helicopter and then firing off like 250 something rounds of 45 ammo like, at them right next to the resort. Oh yeah, we can make it home. That's not a problem. It's just gonna take forever, but that'll be fine. Because as far as away as we were from the helicopter, like a lot of these zombies aren't gonna be an issue. It is a hell of a long walk, and we haven't cleared any of the buildings nearby, like along the route. So it is walking home the whole way. Not running, because we sleepy. I mean, unless I ditch the zombies and I find one of these cars we pulled off the side of the road that's not a wreck and slept in it, that would be an option. Because right now I'm not even sure we can actually get over that fence successfully. I think I have one more attempt to climb it, and if I fail, you know, we're full on high exertion. We certainly wouldn't climb it then, and we'd just be in worse shape. Yeah, there was I think 2 or 3 farmhouses along the way, but we didn't even go down the roads to look at them. Kind of didn't clear them. But yeah, you can pretty much cross the map almost before dehydration kills you, I think. These are wrecks, so I can't even climb into the seats. Like the seats are non-functional in those. Sitting on the road isn't going to help me too much because we're really far into tired, and the more tired you are, the more penalty you take on recovering stamina. Like, I know I could sit there for a while, but right now, getting away from the zombies to do that's going to be rough. Like, that's the, when it comes to your stamina and your tiredness, that's kind of the wombo combo that happens, is once you start getting into tired, then, you know, like it's just really rough from there because you can't recover your stamina, which means you're doing stuff that's making you more tired, which makes you can't recover your stamina. You get the idea. You get into a vicious cycle. Sparhawk says, I don't want to restart, but Restless Sleeper is low-key making me want to cry inside. How, like, is that just any time any noise happens, your character wakes up in a panic? Is that the stressor about it? Because that's my understanding is Restless Sleeper, you wake up at, like, the drop of a dime. Ah, just randomly waking up all the time. That's no fun. Yeah. Yeah. I do not want that trait. Give me one moment. Yep, the push-up count is in real life. Basically, people can cash in. As you'll, yeah, actually you can't see because you can't see the TNT. Basically, there is a point redemption that any individual per stream can cash in twice. That makes me do 5 push-ups each time, and that the entire stream per day can knock me for 50 push-ups. That number is going to go up, but you know, we haven't quite got there. And speaking of which, there is a push-up and a hydrate, so I will get those, and a posture check. We are very tired. I had to open my bag because, like, is there no sound? Are the bugs gone? Can I hear nothing? I mean, it's not bad. One thing to keep in mind is I'm doing them like 5 at a time most of the time. So that's really not that tough, and it's a total of 50 per day. And to give a context, it has been a couple years like that I would make sure to do these types of things regularly. I would do, I think it was like 75 or 80 push-ups a day, and then I couldn't remember how many sit-ups and so many squats. And it wasn't like trying to like show off or anything. It's just, you know, my job involves sitting all the time. I need to not sit all the time if I want to live a long, happy life. So I gotta get that blood flowing. But yeah, I mean, honestly, most days we don't actually hit the 50. We've been landing quite a few days. We land around like most days we land between like 30 and 45. We've hit the cap a couple of times. That's because there's a few people who are like on top of it early stream, and then they use up their their 2 redemptions. And then as the stream goes on, it seems like the how well people do about actually continuing to redeem them, you know, slows down. Yeah, now if you jump right in, doing 50 a day might be quite a bit more than you probably should. You know, maybe start at like 10. Work your way up. Yeah, that's not bad. As long as you're doing stuff to get your heart going. This sucks, having to walk this whole way. The worst thing is I think there's a tent kit in that van. But yeah, so this is the kind of thing that like tests your patience in the game to like put yourself in trouble. So I know I've got a long walk. It's not going to be a fun long walk. There's no real way around it, unfortunately, because at these populations, if I try and push into one of these barns, they'll probably have a good 4 or 5 hordes that I have to deal with, and right now tackling that would be pretty rough. Like, if I have to, I mean, honestly, as tired as we are, that would be real dicey. So it's mostly just walk home because home is the most likely to be safe. And luckily we have been clearing this path, so we shouldn't see too many zombies, because this is far enough away the helicopter shouldn't have meaningfully impact anything. Because once you get far enough away from the zombies, it doesn't really keep track of each individual zombie and what they're doing so much as it does do some level of fudging of math to determine where they move around. Like, I don't know the details and how it works, but it's just usually the way these games have to work for performance reason. You just basically kind of... Like, the closer something is, the more precise you bother to do all the AI and all that. The farther away it is, the more you lax up on the details and just kind of let it go with being something approximately right. Oh, so I didn't actually change the font? Let me show you. And this is especially good for people who stream. So if you look here, where are we? So you have the font size. You can change it to be larger. You can change the fonts here as well to decide how big, small, or whatever you want. You can change your clock size, all that stuff. That all helps a lot. I don't think I've changed the font in any way, because I don't think there was a place to do that. Because if I could change the font, I'd probably make it dyslexia just to, you know, again, promote, you know, being aware of neurodivergent conditions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so you can change the font size here, and that helps a lot. Because the default font, if I have it on here, like, it's very difficult to see it on stream. And I might even make it bigger if it would help people. It's kind of the gamble of how big do I make it? I do not know the abbreviation OD off the top of my head, unfortunately. Sorry. Oh, open dyslexic. Yes. Yeah, for those who are looking at, like, for those who actually have dyslexia or other conditions that make it difficult to read stuff, consider, like, there's Open Dyslexic is a free font that you can use that's made specifically with dyslexia in mind. There's also Dyslexie, which is what I use on my stream. It's a paid font. In my opinion, it's a little bit better than Open Dyslexic, but again, you have free versus actually costing a decent amount of money. But both are excellent fonts for people with dyslexia or other reading impairments. But I use Dyslexie for pretty much all of my text that I put on the screen, all my labels, all that kind of stuff. So that's the reason the font looks a little bit weird, is it's designed to be dyslexia friendly. And if you want to see what makes it like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up my away screen. So if you actually look at the font, and you look at the near bottom of it, like on the bottom of it, you'll notice the bottoms of the letters are generally thicker than the top, and they're kind of angled in. And that they've made stuff like the B and the Q and all that, they'll make it so, like the B and the G, so that you can't like rotate one letter to make another one. Because with a lot of stuff like Arial and that, I think actually was Arial one? But there are certain fonts that you can turn the B, you flip it upside down, you've got a P, you reverse it, you've got a Q, you flip it back upside down, you got a D. And that can be very problematic for certain types of, or certain expressions of dyslexia. That's all right. That's a decent joke. Oh, of course there's an emote. There's always an emote. Oh, and you take away that. But yeah, so the entire idea as to why the bottom of the letters are thicker than the top for the font is it makes it easier to recognize where the line switches. Wait, Lord Minion has a booty emote? I did not anticipate that being a thing. I mean, it also makes sense of the type of humor he has, but it's also a surprising thing. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware. Like I've I've watched Wade's stuff for a good while. Not so much lately because I stream all the time, but you know. Plus, it was fun actually getting to RP with him a good couple times on TSRP. Like that was one of those things I hadn't expected was my character on the TSRP server, like I would interview various business owners, of which his character Norm was one of the business owners on the server. And so like I had reached out because it was like one of those things. There was like four from business thing. I was expecting like one of the other ones, like Bird or something, you know, to go, which was still fantastic and all that. But then they're like, oh no, Norm can take it, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm not exactly prepared to hop on, be on screen with literally like tens of thousands of people watching me interview someone. It was fun. And if I recall correctly, his chat was having an entire conversation of whether my character was supposed to be Clark Kent or Peter Parker. Of which my response was, what? I don't understand. Peter Kent. Clark Parker. Gotcha. And so we still haven't slept since the helicopter showed up, so we're still, even though it's been effectively an entire day since the helicopter's been here and change, the prediction's not over yet because we're still off balance from the helicopter until we get home and sleep. Yeah, the psychic animal pulsar, especially if you're in your, and for those who aren't catching, that's RimWorld, especially if you're on like a tropical rainforest or tropical swamp map where there's just an obnoxious number of animals. The psychic animal pulsar of lock the doors, stay inside, trigger the pulsar, let the animals take care of your enemies is a very viable strategy. Especially when you have like five or six like herds of elephants hanging around. You're just like, all right, so they brought 200 tribesmen. Well, I've got somewhere in the area of 60 elephants, 20 rhinos, and a various bunch of other just random nonsense. So Bishao-kun says, Lori is a character of mine and Leah's. And actually is that's Leah or Leia. Let me know. And she's got this quirk where all speak sounds different when she uses it than with the Asgards or Asgardians. Okay. Of course, none of Norm nor chat knew about her being, Asgardian. Gotcha. Yeah, I always found it weird how many supernatural characters were on that server. Like it's fine. And for my character, I always downplayed like the supernatural is all like these people are all, something's wrong with them. Like there's no such thing as these things was my character's approach. Like, he wouldn't tell it to their face. He'd be respectful and all that, but he'd also go home and be like, I don't know about these people. That's mostly because we had, like, people who were showing up who were, like, werewolves and vampires and all sorts of nonsense that I just didn't want to, like, I wasn't looking for that role play where the whole thing was supernatural with ghosts and demons and all that. So it's just, you know, act like people are being weird. That's one of the things I actually appreciate about with the way the server was run is, to my character's perspective, he could be correct that they weren't, and to the people who are supernatural, to their character's perspective, they could also be right. We could both be mutually right because we're playing by the same rules. Yeah, that was the thing. Like, I didn't mind characters that were supernatural, but like they wouldn't do stuff that would anyway break. Like, I did get not annoyed, that's too strong a word, but when you'd have the people like, oh, my character's a genie, and then they would glitch the animations to make themselves float. I'm like, okay, but like now I'm forced to be, this is a supernatural world. Which is fine. Like, I never got upset about it or anything. You know, to Marcus, he probably figures like, ah, it's some gimmick. Right. Like, to me, that was there's a term called forced RP, and I'm mentioning, like, you would know what that is, but I'm mentioning that for people who aren't familiar with RP. So forced RP is when you do stuff that forces you to have a character, you know, they force basically characteristics on your character through RP, that your choices are effectively do what's known as bad RP, which is to just kind of go against everything. But yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like you can. So, I feel like with those characters that were supernatural, there are ways you can go around it where your character can think they're supernatural, but not be supernatural. Like, anytime someone challenges you, that you can't. So, you can just basically act like your person's having, you know, a crisis of identity of what their reality is. And the game we're talking about is Grand Theft Auto Roleplay. So it's Grand Theft Auto 5 on a roleplay server. Me and Bishokun were on the Squad RP server, which is TSRP. But we played with a bunch of other people like Minion 777, which you know is Wade. But we used to like, that's actually where this channel started, was on the I was streaming that GTRP. But I've since stopped RPing for quite a while now. It was actually my only real like foray into actual hard RP. Otherwise, sometime I would do like what I did in this, where you know my character might have a gimmick. Like, I'm not going to come up with a backstory and a whole bunch of stuff. It's just like, oh, this character, I'm just going to collect friendship bracelets. Ha ha ha, that's weird. You know, 180 friendship bracelets. It's not creepy. Yeah, no, I heard about that. I am going to ask that we, like, for specific things, like individuals that the admins went to and from, probably not bring up that stuff, because I want to don't like go after anyone, like any other streamers or admins of servers. They make their choices. We may or may not agree with them. Yeah, nah, but it's when you say the admins, it makes it a short list kind of thing, and that's not being accusatory. They have all sorts of rules about you're not supposed to talk negatively about the server and all that. Like, I haven't kept up with the rules if they've changed any of that, but you know, I might hop back on there at some point. I don't know. Like, I keep saying I'll hop in for like an hour or two, but with as fast as things move in there, you hop in for an hour and you don't get halfway caught up before it's already too much. I thought I heard a zombie. We're almost home. Yeah, I'm. We'll probably need to switch topics, and I know that's not fun or whatever, but It's just one of those things. They got all these strict rules and all that. But yeah. So what happens if a zombie well, Baron asks, what happens if a zombie finds you when you're sleeping and do you just die, or do you wake up then die? You wake up then die. Like, so there's a split second. So the zombie hears you, you're asleep, your screen's still black, you got the little clock, and then it starts loading up, and then the zombie's starting to attack you. So, like, the screen's still black, you can't see what's happening. You've probably heard the zombie roll up on you, but for that split second, you technically can move and do stuff. It's just, you'd have to guess what direction the zombie's in, and actually, you know, get lucky enough to get away, and most time, because where you're laying down, you can't get up in time to save yourself, kind of thing. I'll need to repair that when we're not sleepy. But realistically, what happens is you wake up just in time to hear this crunching noise and just bad times. Rippery, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, as Whistlebeak said, if you hear the zombie approaching kind of thing while you're asleep, and you just like hold shift, hold a direction, and you know, cross your fingers, you can get away, but there's a good chance instead of running away from the zombie, you'll just collide into something and all that. Yep, half a freezer. We had zombies ruin the other half. I was pretty salty about it in the moment. I'm actually still not thrilled by it, but you know. Because I didn't damage anything but the freezer. Oh yeah, this dude's like, man, I was like pass out tired, and then you hiked me half across the world. What's wrong with you? Gotcha.